Hello, Namaste, Hare Krishna. So we thought to share some of the nectar from the Vedic culture with you all on a daily basis in just little snippets of wisdom. So what we're going to base these talks on is the Vedic culture, which is much more than just some old knowledge from India or Hindu kind of knowledge. Just like any kind of device or machine comes with a manual. So the Vedas explains that it's like the manual for the universe. So it's like the Vedic knowledge is like a manual for the universe, you know, how to live here, why we're here, what is our purpose, how to be happy, how to be prosperous, the whole reasoning and cause and whatever knowledge is useful, it's all there in the Vedas. So it has universal application. It doesn't matter what our background is. It's beneficial for everyone. So according to the Vedas, this human life is very valuable. Like I mentioned, the first talks we're going to do is we're going to call it Health is Wealth. So there's a great value, a great wealth in this human life. And the value is that with this human life we can achieve full knowledge, full realization, self-realization, spiritual realization, which is not possible in other forms other than the human form. So the downside is that the human form, as all are, is temporary. In Sanskrit it's adruvam. It's only lasting a very short time, very temporary. However, although it's temporary, but it has great value, arthadam, so that we can get knowledge and understand that we're actually an eternal spiritual being, which is temporarily in a material body, and how we can free ourselves from all these temporary problems that we're going through life after life. So therefore reincarnation comes into the equation, karma comes into the equation. That's seeing the big picture. So the Vedic culture or Krishna culture shows us what the big picture is and how we can make the best use out of this short life. So the first things we'd like to talk about is just about keeping the physical health, so that of course we can't get the benefits that the human body offers if we're not alive, you know, if we're dead, if we're so sick and we just die all of a sudden, then we need time. We need time to get our act together and to understand who we are and why we're here and where we came from, where we're going. So we want to keep the body healthy, although we're not the body. That's a basic understanding in the Vedic culture, that we're not the material body, we're an eternal soul. So we're not a man or a woman, or we're not black or white, or young or old, or we're an eternal soul. Aham Brahmasmi. However, this body is like a machine, a vehicle, and it's very useful as we use a car to get the driver from A to B. So it can help us. So we want to look after it, just like we put oil and water in the machine and everything, regularly maintain it. It's very helpful. Although we're separate from the machine, the driver is separate, right? And actually the driver is more important than the car, isn't it? It's not that the car is the most important thing, but the car is helpful to the driver So we want to look after it. So we try our best to keep good health. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, it doesn't work out. But nevertheless, we're just doing our duty. So it's our duty to look after this body the best we can. And so one of the main things that can help us to have good health, according to the Vedas, is to be regulated in all of our habits. I can't emphasize that enough. What does it mean to be regulating our habits? So all of our daily activities, we want to do it as much as possible at the same time. And also find the right time to do it. Find the right time to do the activities. And once we've found the right time to do all the things, to do it at the same time every day. So that means get up at the same time, go to the toilet at the same time, eat at the same time, work at the same time, have lunch at the same time, go to bed at the same time, you know what I mean? So all the activities, and don't think that's going to make life boring or whatever. Actually, that makes our life peaceful. Then we don't have to think about every little thing. You know, when am I going to eat? And, you know, when am I going to work? And when am I going to go to sleep? We create anxiety and stress for ourselves by not organising these small things. Isn't it? You don't have to think about when you're going to brush your teeth because there's a fixed time you do that. You know, so like that, our whole life, we daily activities, we want to do it like that. And what that does, that frees you up for the really exciting things, which is to consider, like, who am I and why am I here, and what's the point of it all, and what's our purpose, and what's our goal, and, you know, so we can free us up for the bigger picture, rather than the small things, you know, thinking about when am I going to eat and stuff like that. It's like pathetic, a waste of valuable human, you know, mind and intelligence. So yeah, we want to regulate things, and there's a best time to do all the things, which is in harmony with our biological clock. You know, we have a biological clock. You know, there's a clock for the heart, how it's functioning, and the lungs and the liver and the kidneys and the stomach and the digestion and all the things. The best time for sleeping and all these things. So we want to tune in with that and do the activities that fits in with that biological clock. And also we have what's called a dosha clock. You might not be familiar with that. So according to this ancient wisdom, which is called, the part of the Vedas that deals with health is called Ayurveda. So according to Ayurveda, then the body is made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And those 5 elements combine together into 3 different energies or doshas. So one is called Vata. That's a combination of the air and space element. Another one is Pitta. That's a combination of the fire and water element. And then there's Kapha, which is the combination of the earth and water element. So those 5 material elements combine into those 3 different energies. And those 3 different energies, Vata, Kapha and Pitta, they regulate all different aspects of our physical body and our mind like that. So understanding how these different energies are working is very important, and doing our different activities that fit in well with these different energies. And also from our birth, according to our past karma, we're going to have one particular kind of energy or constitution, dosha constitution. So we might have like a more of a Vata constitution, like that's the constitution I have, or it might be Pitta, or it might be Kapha, like that, and that's for your whole life. And it might get more in balance at certain times and more out of balance at certain times. So the idea of Ayurveda is how to keep that energy or that constitutional body type in harmony and balance like that. So if we can regulate our activities, it will help us. We tune in with the biological clock and the dosha clock like that. And so how do we start? What do we start with our day? The day starts with us getting up. So when should we get up? Get up early. What's early? Definitely before sunrise. Definitely before sunrise. If you want to have good health, physical and mental health, and also give you spiritual opportunities more, then getting up before sunrise is very important. But actually our day doesn't just begin with getting up when we get up. It begins with the night before, because obviously if you go to bed real late, that's going to make it hard for you to get up early, right? So you got to go backwards. So what we did yesterday is going to affect our today. So like there's a saying, early to bed, early to rise keeps you healthy, wealthy and wise. Wow, those are all really valuable things, right? Health, wealth and wise. So those are all good things that we want, So if we follow that kind of routine, get up early and go to bed early, that will help us achieve, wonderful results. And that's what we should look for. If you follow a process and you get good results, well, that's encouraging. We should continue that. But if you follow a process like most of what modern materialistic society follows all around the world, the process is giving us such bad results. I mean, look at the crisis around the world today in health. People are so sick, probably more than ever before, and so many, not only physical problems, but now there's a lot of mental diseases. And these are terrible results. We should really look at our process that we're following. We call ourselves a scientific civilization, but I don't see it. It's like real whimsical and unscientific, and it's just producing terrible results. So yeah, why don't we look at that? Just turn on our intellect and think, is the lifestyle I'm leading producing good results? Am I healthy? Am I peaceful? Like that? Is the quality of my life really good? If not, then we should look at something else. And that's what we've been looking at, something else, this Vedic culture for the last 30 years. So I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to share with you everything because I don't know everything and I don't practice everything. But whatever we personally are applying and practicing in our life, then we're happy to share that. And the knowledge in Sanskrit, knowledge that we get is called jnanam. It means knowledge. And then the idea is, and that's theoretical knowledge, you heard something or you read something, so you have some knowledge. But the idea is not to be just like an armchair philosopher, I know so much. But what are you doing? Are you applying that? So we want to apply that. And then when you apply it, when you apply that knowledge, what you've heard, what you've read, that theory that you've received, when you apply it in your life, then you get realization from that. Then you get some experience from applying that knowledge, and that's called vijnanam. So that's where we want to get to. So I'm only going to share with you all what we have, knowledge we've received, and then we've applied it, and then we've got some good results from it. So we want to share that because we're confident that just like it's helped us, it can help you too. So yeah, getting up early. And like I said, before sunrise, ideally between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to sleep a lot less than what you're doing now. How much should we sleep hours a day? I'd say on average, it's about 7 hours. Some people can work okay with 6 hours sleep, some maybe 8 hours sleep. But if you go too much less than 6 or too much more than 8, then that can also impinge negatively on your health both ways. Don't think that if I just sleep 10 hours or 12 hours, that's going to improve my health because I'm resting more. No, it'll have a negative effect if you sleep more than necessary. So the idea also in the Vedas to have good health is just take exactly what we need, not more than what we need, not less than what we need, whether it's sleep or food or money or anything. Just take exactly what we need. So if you wake up and you're feeling rested, then get up. Don't just lie around in bed. That's just a waste of time. Remember, I said this human life's very valuable for getting knowledge, but if you're asleep, which means in ignorance, what knowledge are you going to get, in ignorance? It's a waste of our life, You could think, imagine, say you live for 100 years, and then if you slept for 12 hours a day, that means 50 years. 50 years is gone just in sleep. 50 years, half of your life is gone, just in that. So we don't want to waste this valuable life just unnecessarily. And, of course you need to rejuvenate the body by sleep. I'm not saying don't sleep. Like I said, less sleep also. That said that the intellect functions through getting sleep. And we might know that at times that we didn't sleep enough. We can't think straight. We make bad decisions, because you're sleep deprived. So that's not good, but too much is also not good. So sleep the right amount. Find out. Everyone's individual, so you need to find out. Someone finds out that 6 is enough, someone's 7 is enough, someone's 8 is perfect, like that. So do that. So, and if you want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you need 7 hours sleep, then when should you go to bed? So then you should go to bed by 9. If you want to get up by 6 is enough, 6 a.m. and you need 8 hours sleep, so then you need to go to bed by 10 p.m. like that. So we just need to work it out, what's going to work the best. But the early morning hours are very valuable, best for our health and also for our spiritual practice is the early morning hours. All hell breaks loose normally after the sun rises. Everyone's racing around, I've got to go to work and everything like that, and the kids start waking up and screaming and everything, and the boss rings and the phone rings and everything like that. So it's all chaos. It's called in Sanskrit Rajaguna, which means the mode of passion. So the mode of passion kicks in after the sun rises. So before the sunrise, from the early hours of the morning till sunrise, is called Sattvaguna. Sattva means goodness, the mode of goodness. So that time is perfect for developing our health, learning something, getting some knowledge, some spiritual practice, meditation, yoga, so forth. There's so many wonderful things that can get the best results if we do them before sunrise. After sunrise, you can do them, the yoga and meditation, blah, 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 learn something, get some education and something, but you won't get probably as good results as you would before sunrise. So, yeah, so it starts up with getting up early. And then what's the very first thing to do? Well, actually, even before you get out of bed, if you lie, once you wake up, if you lie on your right side for a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something, lie on your right side, that will help you to be able to go to the toilet easier when you get up. So then, after you've done that for a few minutes, then you can get up, and don't jump out of bed. Some people get dizzy in that. If you've suddenly been lying down for so long and suddenly jump up and run around, you might fall over or something. So just sit up in the bed, and you can even rub your hands and then rub your face and over your body to bring awareness back into your body, like that. And then what we do, and you don't have to do this, but what is nice is to say a prayer, and just to express gratitude, to bring that sense of gratitude and love to whether it's the universe or God, good fairies or whatever you believe in, something's looking after us. It's not everything is just happening by chance automatically. You know, there are great forces and powers and everything, controllers out there in the universe. It's not all just happening randomly. We're not living in chaos. You know, everything's very organized, so someone's organizing everything. So offer some respect and gratitude to those persons or personalities that are, you know, organizing everything for us, maintaining us and protecting us and everything. So you can say some prayers in English or whatever your language is, or Sanskrit or whatever. And that's nice, you know, awaken some good feelings in us, some positive thoughts, some love, you know, in our hearts, like that. So we say some prayers to our spiritual teachers and everything like that, to the Lord. So that's very nice. And what we do, we actually, when we get out of bed, we bow our head on the ground. So invoking humility, you know, gratitude. Thanks for, you know, giving us another day, you know, in this body, because we take it for granted, right, that we're going to wake up. But let's face it, not everyone that goes to bed wakes up. Let's face it, and there's more and more like that. You know, so actually it's said that when you go to sleep is like a small death, right? For that time, right? It's like death. What's death? Death is like when the soul leaves the body. What's death is when the soul leaves the body. But at the time of death, the soul leaves, and that's why the body's, you know, just dead, because the soul's gone, the life is gone. But when you go to sleep is like that. You know, the soul also leaves the body when you go to sleep, but you know, if you're lucky, it comes back in. And if you're not, it doesn't, and you're a goner. You know, so we should, you know, we bow our head on the ground, you know, invoke that humility and, you know, gratitude to the Lord like that. That's a very nice thing. And so you've got out of bed, you've said a prayer, and then go and wash your face with cool water, and your eyes. Wash your eyes. It's very healthy actually for the eyes to bathe the eyes with cool water. And rinse your mouth with water. And don't brush yet. No brushing yet. Just wash with water. And then warm up some water. 1 or 2 cups of water. Warm water. And just water. Nothing else. Just water. And drink that. And sip it. Just by not glug, glug, glug. Just sip 1 or 2 cups of warm water. And what that's for is to help you go toilet, to clear out the bowels, evacuate the stool, everything like that. That's a very important part of a healthy routine, you know, is to be able to go toilet in the morning. Some people might, you know, find that happens easily. Some people they don't. If it doesn't happen easily, then definitely do that. Definitely do that. It helps to detox, flush all the toxins out when you drink that warm water. And it'll just go straight through. It's not going to just get absorbed in the body. That first water you take, even before you brush your teeth and that's just going to go straight through and help push everything out from the day before and all the toxins and everything. So I can't emphasize that enough. As soon as you get up, drink that 1 or 2 cups of warm water and just sip it like that. And then wait for the urge to come to go to the toilet. It should come. If it doesn't, you can do other things that help, like you can drink some different potions there to help us go toilet the next morning. So one is called Triphala, a really good one. 3, it means 3 different fruits. 3 different fruits. So you can buy that Triphala, and you just take like half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of that in a glass of warm water before you go to bed. And that helps you to go toilet in the morning. So if you struggle, you can do things like that. Otherwise, just that cup or 2 of warm water may help you to go. And then, you can help that too by just walking around. So you drink your warm water and just walk back and forth around inside the house, or if it's warm outside or whatever, you can walk around outside, although it might be dark at that point if you've got up before sunrise. But walk around inside like that, and you can listen to some positive talks or music that you like or something like that. And when the urge comes, obviously go to toilet. And toilet, you'd think there's not much to talk about there. But actually the way that we sit on the toilet in the West is completely hopeless. You know, we sit like we do at a chair, right? But actually the best way to go toilet to evacuate all that waste products, the stool, is to squat. Or we say the crouch, I think you use the word crouch too. So to squat or crouch. Now, of course, our modern, wonderful, highly advanced toilet doesn't really help that very much. And but you may consider, having an alternative toilet seat, which it is possible, just like a box with a hole in it, and that allows you to crouch. And if you value your health, think about it. And if you don't care about your health, well, just keep sitting on the seat. But even if you go toilet just sitting on the seat, it might not all come out. But if you crouch, you'll be surprised. You might get, more come out, which is good. If you can completely clear out all the intestines and everything like that, then so much the better for your health. So that's a worthwhile investment. We actually don't even use our toilet in the house, believe it or not. We have our composting toilet outside, which has got just a square box with a hole in it and a 20-litre bucket underneath it. And I clean it out every day because we don't like sitting on top of smelly stuff. We clean it every day and put it underneath fruit and nut trees and stuff like that, so it's good fertilizer. It's such a waste. I think that's the worst invention modern civilization ever made, was a flushing toilet. Because not only you waste that potential fertilizer, but you've wasted 10, 12 plus litres of water when you push that button, which was really good water. We were in Australia and I couldn't believe it. Australia didn't have enough water and we just waste so much like that. It's just completely insanity. Like I said, we follow a process that produces bad results, wasting such a valuable resource like that. So just consider that. It's a massive thing you can do for your health. It's a massive thing you can do to fertilize your orchard. It's and massive thing to save water and look after the environment, because otherwise you flush that toilet, then all that toxic waste is, because it becomes toxic once you mix it with water, it can't break down, and then it becomes a problem somewhere else in some waste treatment plant that costs the public millions of dollars and everything like that. So that's all pretty crazy stuff. That's a little diversion, but it's worthwhile to understand these things. And we wanted to keep it short, little talks, so I don't want to go beyond half an hour at a time. So we'll stop there with going to the toilet, and we'll start again 6:30 New Zealand time tomorrow night, talking about what to do after going to the toilet like that. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can even send them anytime or any comments, and we'll try our best to reciprocate with you. Okay. All the very best. Hope this meets you in good health. When our spiritual teacher would write a letter to someone, because 50 years ago there was no fancy devices, so it was all handwritten letters. So when he would write a letter to someone, he would always sign off the letter, hoping this meets you in good health. It's so important to have good health. So we wish you the same. Okay, take care.